Welcome to the Wednesday morning edition of the Sack Lunch Show. Wednesday, March 4th. It's 10:06. It's 76 degrees. What a beautiful day in the neighborhood. We're broadcasting live from beautiful Bainbridge, Georgia, on the banks of the sparkling Old Flint River. And this is the Sack Lunch Show. We are presented by David White and the gang at Cook's Appliance Services, the Bonnie Blue House on Calhoun Street in Bainbridge, Dean Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, H&R Block in Bainbridge, Donaldsonville, and Blakely, where you can get up to $3,500 the day you file your taxes. All you need is a W-2. ABAC at Bainbridge, Stewart Auto Parts, B3 Property Management, United Rentals, and the Nomad Nurse.
And don't forget Bell Payne, attorneys at law, Brownlee Glass Company, Carter's Fried Chicken, Dr. Homer Breckenridge III, Hadaway Ford, Stone's Home Centers.
We're also brought to you by Specialty Auto, Bainbridge DUI School, Dixie Dandies, Southern Harvest Equipment, Mitchell County Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, CNR Parts and Auto Body, and South Georgia Motorsports.
And don't forget New South Roofing and Grassy Cuts, Seminole Hydraulics, the law offices of Silvers Ambrose, Linkwist & Co., Westwood Schools, and Lane's Medical Shop.
We're also brought to you by Studio Tees. If you need T-shirts printed, koozies printed, you've got an event coming up, maybe you need some T-shirts printed for your business, we got you covered at Studio Tees, 229-400-9656. We're broadcasting live this Friday afternoon from 4 to 6 at the Grady County Cultural Center, where Ward Davis will be live and in concert. Johnny, tell us all about it.
Well, yes, we have Ward Davis live in concert with special guest Tobacco Road. That is March 6th in Cairo, Georgia, at the Grady Cultural Center. The doors will be open at 6 o'clock, but for more ticket information, you need to go to warddavismusic.com or go check out the wonderful people there at the City of Cairo City office. And ask for Alyssa Blakely. She'll hook you up. She'll set you up. Tickets are $20 in advance, $25 at the door. So make sure you get your ticket early.
Absolutely. And then next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, March 14th and 15th, it's Rivertown Days 2020. Uncle Cracker will be live on the stage, and you can actually see him there perform on the stage live. The entire event is going to be a great time. I was trying to tell you to turn your mic.
I thought you want me to get you some
I want
water.
you to take your microphone and turn it like this. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Rivertown Days 2020 coming up on the banks of the sparkling Old Flint River at the Earl May Boat Basin right here in Bainbridge, March 14th and 15th. Uncle Cracker live on the stage. Also a live performance of Swamp Gravy. That's going to be a big time next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, March 14th and 15th. The following Friday, March 20th, from 4:30 to 6:30, it's the Boots and Roots Rodeo at the Chris Thomas Arena in Donaldsonville, where we'll be broadcasting live that Friday afternoon. And then the next day, or the next weekend, Saturday, March 28th, on Court Square in Blakely, it's Peanut Proud. And then the next weekend, Saturday, April 4th, that's 1 month from today.
That's right.
The Thomasville Artifact Show at the Conference Center at Southern Regional Technical College. For more information on that, you can go to flint-life.com. That's the second annual Thomasville Artifact Show, Saturday, April 4th, the Conference Center at Southern Regional Technical College. Bring your kids because they get in free. We're going to have an Easter egg hunt where they'll find real arrowheads in the little plastic eggs. It's going to be a big time. The Thomasville Artifact Show, Saturday, April 4th at the Conference Center at Southern Regional Technical College.
Sweet.
So, did it rain here last night?
It did.
Yeah, it rained at my house, too.
Yeah, it did pretty hard.
Yeah. It woke me up at 3 o'clock.
It didn't wake me up, but I know when I got up, it was wet everywhere. Yeah. I mean, everywhere.
When I was in the bed about 3 o'clock, I thought I was just waking up, just the normal, Right.
Henry, you're pulling on your sheet or something.
No, middle-aged, I think I'm starting to get to that.
Bathroom break?
Yeah, middle-aged, middle of the night bathroom break. I thought that's what it was, but I quickly realized that it was the lightning and thunder outside that
house shaking.
Yeah, that was waking me up. Did you wake you up, Ryan?
No,
did it rain, Invader?
Knocked out. Up Invader.
You haven't gotten to the middle-aged, middle of the night bathroom break yet?
No, but it hits me as soon as I wake up, like in the morning. Like that's the first thing I do.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Appreciate it.
If you're ever wondering what Ryan does, the first thing he wakes up.
You're welcome.
You're not unlike everybody else, Ryan.
Yeah, everybody else does it.
Except for, like I said, the older I get, the more often I wake up in the middle of the night.
Yeah. That way when you get up, you don't have to.
I'm told that the older you get, the more often you wake up.
You do.
Like
you do.
During the course of one night, you might wake up twice.
Even if you get to sleep at all.
Oh.
Period. Yeah. When you get old, everything hurts.
And
I'm
then
just gonna say
finally,
that.
it all comes full circle. Once you become really old,
Yeah.
you don't even have to get up anymore.
Nah, you just right there in your diaper.
You just
And you pull up.
Maybe I'll just skip the getting up and just go straight to the.
just go straight to the pull up.
Right, you pull
Why
up.
not? I just don't want to get out of bed.
I know. I feel you, man. Once you get in there and get
Oh, man,
comfortable
especially when it's cold.
and warm, nobody wants to get up after that.
No.
I leave my slippers right next to the bed. I get up, I'm like, man, I'll just do it like in one swoop, right into the slippers, run out the door. It's cold, man. I can't stand to be cold getting out of bed. Because you've been under the snuggly, warm covers for hours. Who wants to get out of that?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't.
Yeah, I find myself in like a catatonic
Yeah.
state.
And then when you have to get up, you go, you whoop the covers, whip them off of you, and jump out of the bed all mad.
I normally, anybody that listens to the Sack Lunch Show knows that I go to bed pretty early.
Yeah.
And but I'll get in the bed at like 8 or 8:30, but I don't normally go to sleep till 9, 9:30, 10,
Yeah,
something like
little
that.
TV watching,
Maybe a
little
little
relaxing.
earlier, maybe a little later. It depends on what's going on. But
Right.
normally at about 9:15
Right.
or 9:30, I'm awake, but I'm not moving. Like nothing about me is moving. My face is, my eyes may be the only thing that are moving.
Like you had an epidural.
I'm just
You're
laying
just
there
Whoa.
watching the TV.
Yeah. Okay. Comatose state completely.
And if I ever find myself in one of those nights where I am moving a lot, I'm rolling
Right.
around or flipping
Ooh.
around, or that I have a feeling usually that the night's not going to go well. It's going to be one of those
Normally
nights I
don't.
don't sleep good.
Normally don't.
Yeah.
Especially if you toss it and turn it. I can't stand it. It's horrible.
It's time now for your Southwest Georgia area news, driven by Action GM on Highway 84 East in Bainbridge, where you can save a ton of money. You can finance for free, 0% financing for 72 months, and you can save thousands of dollars off the MSRP of select vehicles right now at Action GM, Southwest Georgia's favorite neighbor. Well, our first story here has to do with the weather. We've got flash flooding and severe thunderstorms possible today and tomorrow as a powerful storm system will track right over our corner of the state. Both days have been designated as first alert weather days by WALB, and their meteorologist Chris Zellman said the first round of strong storms will come through last night.
And it did.
And that's exactly what happened. There was the slight risk of damaging winds, flash flooding, and an isolated tornado. Heavy rainfall and the threat for hail take over today with 3 to 5 inches of rain expected. The flash flooding threat is up to a 15% chance today. That's today.
Good grief.
And then tomorrow, the threat of severe storms rises for most of the area, and a 15% chance of damaging winds, large hail, and a 5% chance of a tornado. That begins tomorrow morning around 8 a.m. and should end mid-afternoon Thursday.
Good grief.
So basically between now and tomorrow afternoon,
It's going to be buckets of water
lots of rain,
dropped on you.
lots of wind, the potential for hail, and isolated tornadoes throughout southwest Georgia. Now, I don't know when the last time you looked at the ditch
I have. It's full.
or the
It's
Flint
full.
River
Yeah.
or Spring Creek or the Chattahoochee or the Ocklawahnee.
Or anywhere around here.
They're all full.
They're all a little bit over the top full.
So there's more rain coming,
3 to 5.
3 to 5 inches. The
That's a lot
question
of
you have
work.
to ask yourself is, where's it going to go?
Yeah. Do you feel lucky?
Yeah, it's going to go into your yard. That's exactly where it's going to
Yeah.
go.
Into your yard and into your neighbor's yard and
Yeah.
into your street.
So expect significant amounts of rain over the next 2 days. I wore my boots. So I'm a boot wearer.
Right.
I typically prefer to wear boots.
Now, cowboy or
No,
work?
these are like
Work boots.
they're like my lace-up boots.
Yeah, right.
I don't own a pair of cowboy boots, although I want a pair.
I do not have it.
But I have found that, especially in the summertime, tennis shoes
Right.
are more comfortable.
Very much.
Especially if I'm going to be standing on concrete
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like that. My tennis shoes, I'm getting older.
Right.
And
Hey,
so my back hurts sometimes, and usually it's directly attributable to my boots.
when you're young, you get all your stuff in your car, like your big speakers, everything else. Now, when you're old, you buy shoes that fit.
Yeah.
that are comfortable.
That's right. So yesterday I wore my tennis shoes,
Okay.
and I went out to my land yesterday to move my feeder.
Bad
And
choice.
when I got there, I'm like, dang it, I'm wearing tennis shoes.
Bad choice.
Didn't take
2 seconds.
3 minutes. My feet were wet.
Soaking wet.
So it's supposed to rain today and tomorrow.
There you
So I'm going to be wearing my boots.
Right.
That way I don't have to worry about my feet getting wet. So
You might want to take you a small raft.
wear your boots today and tomorrow because your feet will get wet if you wear tennis shoes. Are you wearing tennis shoes today, Ryan?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. I got my boots.
Do your feet get wet?
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have a good pair of boots, but
You just prefer tennis shoes?
yeah, I'm just a comfort guy. I don't.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Like I'm a comfort slash not performance. What's the word I'm looking for? I want my clothing to do a job.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want my clothes to be comfortable. Clothes slash shoes.
Yeah.
But I also want them to have a job.
Yeah.
So in this case, my boots
Significance.
job
Yeah.
are to keep my
Feet.
feet dry.
Mm-hmm.
From being
Mhm.
waterlogged all day.
Yeah.
Especially with 3 to 5, you gotta have boots, man.
So get this, as we figured, Joe Biden scored a bunch of sweeping victories in yesterday's Super Tuesday primary race. We all kind of figured he would after seeing some of the other
Right.
candidates drop out, just ironically,
Oh yeah.
like a day or two before Super Tuesday.
right.
Almost like magic.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
almost
yeah.
like they planned it that way.
Almost like they did.
Pete Buttigieg, and then what was the other one? The
Amy Klobuchar.
Amy
Klobuchar.
Klobuchar, she dropped out. By the way, Pete still got more delegates in South Carolina than Elizabeth Warren did,
Really?
and he dropped out
Yeah.
of the race. Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, it's a two-man race at this point. I
Yeah.
mean, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders now hold the largest amount of delegates. I think they're both in the 400 range. You got to have 1,900 or so to win the nomination. And
I just think it's funny.
Mike Bloomberg spent, I want to say, $700 million. It was a lot of
At
money.
least
It's a-
500 million.
At least.
Yeah.
'cause
And he had
is-
a terrible night.
He had a
Yeah.
bad day yesterday, did not get anywhere close to the number of
No.
delegates that he needed to make a big run at this thing. He just spent $750 million.
He did.
He
For
just,
nothing.
He could have just lit it on fire, and it would have
Yeah.
been
Or
better.
just give it to
served.
me.
I mean,
Yeah. Pass
Yeah.
it out here at Flint Media. Would have been fun. We could
I
have
don't know.
Eh,
Would you take it?
what? No. Absolutely
with
not.
a clear conscience.
With the pickup truck going, load it up in the back. We're leaving.
Yeah. Bernie Sanders won California,
Well, how about that? I would have
and
never
Joe
thought.
Biden won Arkansas, Alabama, Minnesota, North Carolina, Massachusetts, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. Sanders also won Colorado, Utah, and Vermont.
You know what? That's all y'all got? That's it? It's him and Bernie?
Yeah.
It's Bernie and Biden.
Bernie and Biden?
What you mean, y'all? You're not voting Democrat?
No. I'm sorry.
They called-
I don't know.
They called
No.
Alabama for Joe with 1%.
Really?
Yeah. Unfortunately,
That's
I mean,
all right.
Bernie-
That's sad.
Bernie might have stood a chance if there had been a bunch of people that stayed in the race all the way to the convention,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then it would have been a brokered convention, But
yeah, but
the establishment, if you will, has now jumped behind Joe Biden, and
They
once
did.
again, and I'm not complaining,
yeah.
but once again, Bernie Sanders is not going to have a chance to win the nomination.
Bernie gonna have to get his own bread.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Man, dog.
Two vehicles collided at the intersection of Spring Creek Road and John Sam Road on Friday. Turns out somebody was DUI. One of the vehicles caught on fire, and somebody had to be life-flighted to the hospital. According to the Georgia State Patrol, Ricardo Chanchevac was traveling south on John Sam Road, while Tara McLeroy was traveling east on Spring Creek. When approaching the intersection, Chanchevac failed to stop at the stop sign and struck McLeroy's vehicle. These names almost sound made up.
I mean, McLeroy?
McLeroy
Wow.
and Chanchevac.
All I'm missing is a McFly.
Yeah, the Post Searchlight has the full article.
Wow.
Decatur County Fire and Rescue was informed that one of the vehicles was on fire while they were en route. Upon arrival, they found Chanchevac's vehicle on fire in the engine compartment on the side of the road. He was trapped inside and had to be extricated.
Oh.
They were able to control the fire, and EMS requested life flight for McLeroy's injuries as they appear to be serious. The helicopter landed in the adjacent lot and took McLeroy to TMH. Chanchevac also had visible injuries and was taken to TMH for evaluation. Following an investigation, Chanchevac was charged for DUI, driving without a license, failure to stop at the stop sign, and reckless driving. He was booked into the Decatur County Jail with a bond of $2,600.
Well.
Yeah, also from the postsearchlight.com, the quick buys
Uh-oh.
was the victim of an armed robbery Tuesday
Again.
after two men entered the store with a handgun demanding money. This was last Tuesday. Quick Buys employee Diplobin Patel told officers she was at the register when two black males wearing black T-shirts entered the store and pointed a gun at her head, demanded money out of the register and the safe. Diplobin informed officers she gave them all of the money. She saw them get into a red car. They headed south on Faithful Highway. Bainbridge Public Safety canvassed the area for the vehicle and informed the Decatur County Sheriff's Office to be on the lookout. However, they were unsuccessful in locating it. If you have any information, contact investigator Mark Esquivel with the Bainbridge Public Safety.
That's the one at the fork over there, right? Right there in Faithful Road. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, at the fork.
From WCTV, two semi-trucks collided on I-10 around 4 o'clock this morning and blocked traffic. Florida Highway Patrol says a tractor-trailer was traveling east on I-10, and the driver, 42-year-old Randy Sandiford, lost control of his truck just before exit 196. He swerved into the right lane, crashing into another semi-truck. According to authorities, the front of Sandiford's truck crashed into the left side of a 52-year-old Dilbag Singh's truck. They ended up about another 100 yards down the road, both trucks blocking the center and outside lanes. They were taken to TMH with serious injuries. No charges were filed at this time. And our final story here is from DeKalb County, where gunfire erupted at a Checkers overnight when a customer complained about his chicken wing order.
Oh.
That's a serious deal, man.
According to this story from the AJC, chicken was thrown and shots were fired when the restaurant, this is according to the restaurant manager, the customer was actually shot by a Checkers employee.
Wow.
Packing behind the Checkers counter.
It all started when two men ordered at the walk-up window around midnight, received their food, and claimed their order was wrong. The men reportedly started shouting. While they worked to make the correct chicken wings, employees closed the window on the two men who were screaming, and according to the manager, one man threw his food at an employee, and the employee responded by pulling out a gun and shooting him. He was fired.
No.
Wow.
No, you can't fire. He's employee of the month.
DeKalb County Police investigated the incident overnight. They have not confirmed the manager's account. It's unknown if anyone will face charges. Bullet holes and shattered glass can be seen at the walk-up window, and discarded chicken, according to the AJC, presumably from the same order that caused the dispute, was still on the counter.
Listen, he's going to be the Checkers supervisor at the next one. Hey, you the one that shot that man through the window?
I mean, under no circumstance is it okay
to bring your gun to work.
I mean, unless you think they're going to hurt you.
Right? I mean, I don't think a piece of chicken qualifies as.
Yeah, throwing a piece of chicken does not
Yeah,
qualify.
yeah.
you
It's not an equal response.
You'll whip a wing out.
No.
All right now.
Throw a chicken wing back. Next time.
Yeah.
It's the Sack Lunch Show. We'll
Piece
be
of
right
bread
back.
or something.
Welcome back to the Sack Lunch Show, 10:33 on your Wednesday, March 4th. It's time now for your sports, brought to you by Yates Concrete, making concrete sexy for 3 generations. Well, Austin Riley's going to make it hard to keep him in the minors if he keeps hitting home runs.
Oh, he's going to.
He smashed a 2-run shot to give the Braves a lead late yesterday, but the Braves bullpen melted down in the 8th inning, and the Braves lost to the Reyes 5-2. Nobody really cares about the Braves' spring training record.
Yep.
No. Oh, wait.
Calhoun County, and Early County, effective until 11:02 a.m.
All right, in case you were wondering, this is a severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah.
Effective for Early County.
Coming this way.
Yeah, so nobody really cares about the Braves' spring training record.
Nah.
I mean, I don't care if they win a game.
Yeah,
I really don't.
It's just practicing.
What I do care about is the bullpen falling apart and blowing a lead in the 8th inning.
In those games.
Yeah, I also care about guys like Dansby Swanson grounding in double plays with, runners in scoring position.
Right.
And then, Ender Inciarte getting up there and popping out with
that's not
runners in scoring positions.
It's not
Like
good.
those types of things are kind of what you're looking at.
Yeah.
I don't care if some dude that's trying to make the big league squad,
Right.
goes 1 for 4.
Yeah, with a home run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I do care if it's Austin Riley, but what I'm talking about is if it's just some guy that's going to be bouncing around the minors all year long. I don't care what he did in yesterday's game.
Right. A little bit of.
What I do care about as a Braves fan is whether or not we're going to be able to score some runs.
Or we're going to be able to pitch your way out of a lead.
I do care that your important pieces of the puzzle are healthy.
Right.
So, for example, Ozzie Albies being healthy is good news. Freddie Freeman being healthy is good news. You need those guys to start the season not only healthy, but to get warmed up in spring training. That's what we're looking for right now.
That's the purpose of spring training.
Ozzie Albies is already warmed up, by the way.
Yeah,
he continued his hot spring with a single and was immediately pulled for a pinch runner. In other words, they were like, all right, we've seen enough, Ozzie. Thank you. Come on out.
Yeah, before you get hurt.
And then the very next pitch is when Austin Riley hit a 2-run home run. So, it's nice to see guys like, by the way, I saw the home run on Twitter this morning. I was on the Braves page on Bleacher Report, and they had like an embedded video of the home run from somebody's tweet.
Okay.
And he crushed it. It was off the left field scoreboard.
Off the old bombster, huh?
Yeah. Some more good news from yesterday's game is Felix Hernandez went 4 innings, allowed 1 run and 4 hits on 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. So that's good.
Yeah.
This is the guy that the Braves signed in the offseason that's kind of, let's see what he'll do.
Right.
And the 33-year-old, 6-time All-Star and former AL Cy Young winner, Felix Hernandez, is looking pretty doggone good in his first spring training in the National Leagues. He's played every game he's ever played is in a Mariners uniform. This is the first time he's been outside of the American League.
Right.
And he's kind of fought injuries for the last few years, but he's only 33.
Yeah, he's got at least 3 more good years.
So if he can come in and lock down one of those Braves starting rotation spots, that's good news for Braves fans, especially considering that Cole Hamels is not going to start the season
until
on the active
October.
roster. He's hurt. He's got an injury to his shoulder. There's no timetable for his return, and there are 5 starting rotation spots that have to be filled. Max Fried's getting one. Mike Soroka's getting another, right?
Yeah.
Felix Hernandez is probably going to get one.
That's 3.
Another one is probably going to Sean Newcomb. That's 4.
That's 4.
Right? Eventually, Cole Hamels will make 5. But, until then, you're going to have to fill that spot with somebody else like Kyle Wright, Touki Toussaint, somebody like that.
So it'd be June before he comes back.
Who, Hamels?
Yeah.
I don't know.
June, July, before he even steps on.
I mean, really, all we need him for is the stretch run. No, we need him for June, July, August.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice to have him in May.
Yeah.
But
he's going to have to bust it in rehab. He's got to get back out there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who brokered that deal, but I'll tell you what, it was brokered right. I can promise you.
So there you go. Braves spring training action. Looks like Austin Riley's starting to heat up. Looks like Sean Newcomb's looking good this year. That's good news for Braves fans.
Right.
All right, so this is kind of sports, kind of politics. You know, I told you that Tommy Tuberville was running for U.S. Senate in
right.
Alabama.
In Alabama, that's what I heard.
Well, yesterday was Super Tuesday.
Did he get it?
It's when they were voting on everything. He and Jeff Sessions are headed to a runoff.
Okay.
Yep, that is for the Republican
Yeah.
side of the ticket. So they're going to have a runoff between the two of them to see who's going to, represent the Republicans in the general election.
Right.
This is what happens, according to Trump, when someone who loyally gets appointed Attorney General of the United States and then doesn't have the wisdom or courage to stare down and end the phony Russia witch hunt. Talking about Jeff Sessions.
Yeah.
Sessions, who's 73,
Wow.
maintained loyalty to Trump throughout the race, and in his Tuesday night speech after making the runoff, noted that he was the first U.S. senator to endorse Trump in 2016, argued he would be the most effective in advancing Trump's agenda. The only other candidate now is Tommy Tuberville, who, of course, we know is former Auburn University head football coach, positioned himself as a political outsider and tried to capitalize on Trump's past criticisms of Sessions. Tuberville, who's 65, told a crowd at his election night watch party, only one candidate in this race will support Donald Trump down the line. Doug won't, Jeff didn't, but Tommy will.
Ha! I like it.
Yeah.
Old Tommy will.
It'll be interesting to see who wins that runoff between Tommy Tuberville and Jeff Sessions for the right to.
Can't believe he went back and ran.
Well, I mean, what else is he going to do?
I mean, yeah.
He's former Attorney General of the United States. You'd think he could find work.
He could find a job somewhere.
Unfortunately, that tells you he's just a lifelong politician.
That's it.
Yep.
That is exactly what he is.
Yeah.
That. Well, I can't make it over here, so I'll go over here.
Yeah. Shifting gears to college basketball, Florida State plays tonight. Now, listen, if Florida State wins tonight,
okay,
and then beats Boston College at home to close out the season,
okay,
they will win the ACC regular season title.
All right.
It'll be the first time Florida State's ever done that, and they'll be a 1 seed in the ACC tournament.
Cool.
That's big news for Florida State fans out there because our football team's not really anything to cheer about.
I mean, you got something to cheer about now, for sure.
It'd be nice if our basketball team makes a deep run.
Yeah.
They've done pretty well this year in the regular season. They're 24-5 right now, and they play at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is 18-11 on the year, so it'd be a nice. They're going to beat Boston College. Boston College is awful, so if they can beat Notre Dame, they're probably in the driver's seat for that 1 seed in the ACC tournament.
That's a big game tonight.
It's a big game as Florida State takes on Notre Dame. It'd be on ESPN2 up in South Bend. The game's at 9 p.m.
Tonight?
I can't stand the way they do these late-night, Wednesday night basketball games, 9 p.m. I mean, you don't think people would be watching it at 7?
I mean, yeah.
On ESPN2?
Is that the norm that everybody gets home around 9 now?
No.
I hope not.
I mean, is that the the modern family type thing? Everybody get home at 9?
No.
I mean, good grief.
They do that because there's another game on at 6.
I guess.
And so once that game's over, then they have a second game for people to watch. This one's at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, and plus people.
Can you imagine going to that game? Is South Bend in the Eastern time zone or?
I think it's in the Central.
Central.
The
Yeah.
Central.
So
So
it's
it's
like
8 p.m.
So
there.
it's 8, yeah.
That's probably why.
I guess, yeah.
So Florida State's favored by 2.5.
That's it.
In this game. Yeah, the over-under is 147. Florida State only won this game against Notre Dame the first time by 1.
Really?
Yeah, they beat them 85-84 the first time. Florida State needs this game. If you're like me and you're a Florida State fan,
They do.
you want to see Florida State win this one because if they do, they're in the driver's seat for that 1 seed in the ACC tournament, which, of course, they've already locked up the double bye. So the top 4 seeds in the ACC tournament have a double bye, and so they've already locked that up.
Yeah.
It just would depend on how they're matched up. If you're the 1 seed, you end up playing what is it? Do they do 12 teams that get into the tournament? So you play the winner of
on that one side.
You end up playing the winner of a 12 and a 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
That's
Florida
the way
State.
you need the first. You need to come out number 1 seed. Just
You want to be the 1 seed for sure. If for no other reason than for bragging rights.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I don't know that there's a noticeable difference between a 1 seed and a 2 seed in a conference tournament.
Right.
But I mean.
No, just as far as who you play.
You know what they say about number 2, right? If you come in second place,
you're just first place loser.
First loser.
Yeah.
I mean,
if
nobody.
you ain't first, you're last.
If you ain't first, you're last. That's right. Ricky Bobby
There you
said
go,
it
Ricky.
best.
Yes, sir.
Think you'll watch it, Ryan?
I say that's about all you can say out of that. right,
Might.
right
There's
there.
14 seeds, by the way.
14 seeds.
So yeah, I'd rather play a 14 seed.
How many teams are in the conference? 16?
Is it 14?
Is it 14? Does everybody get into
I
the
mean, yeah.
conference tournament?
Is this a
It may be
participation?
14. Yeah,
Maybe.
I think it's 7 on each side. He's counting.
15.
There are 15,
15.
counting Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Counting Notre Dame. Okay. In-
So what? So the 1 seed gets the first round bye, right?
No, they get a double bye.
they get 2 byes.
Yeah, the
Okay.
first 4 seeds
Yeah.
get a double bye. So if there are 14 teams that get in, then 10 teams play each other.
Right.
So that's 5 games.
Cool.
I don't know how it works.
I'm
I don't know how the double
completely
bye
lost.
works.
Right.
Yeah.
Double bye. That sounds like a
Basically,
Coupon.
for Florida State fans, we'd like to see them beat Notre Dame tonight and Boston College to close out the year,
Yeah.
which, by the way, would give them a regular season record of 26-5.
not too shabby.
That ain't bad.
Not too shabby.
I have the bracket if you want me to tell you how it works.
Yeah, tell us
Tell
all
us.
about it.
Tell us, Ryan.
So the 12th and 13th seed play,
Okay, I got you.
and then the 11th and 14th seed play.
Okay.
And then the winner of the 12th and 13th seed plays the 5th seed?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's about right.
So
yeah.
the
then-
5th seed gets a first round bye.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the 11th and 14th seed winner plays the 6th,
6 seed. Yeah.
So 5 and 6 get a first round bye.
yeah.
Okay.
Has to, because if you got 4. I'm
Well,
lost.
everybody all the way up to 8.
Really?
Wait, 9?
10? 11?
10?
Everybody
Yeah,
gets
everybody
a bye.
up to the 10th seed gets the first round bye. And then the top 4 get a second round bye.
Oh,
I got you.
Now we're smelling what you're cooking. I got you. So you got your 10 down have to play, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And
So
then
basically,
your
if you
top-
go in as a 10 seed, you got to win
Right.
2 extra games
Right.
just to be
just to
even,
be even, yeah.
with the top 4 seeds.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a long tournament. You got 2.
Why don't they just cut out
Yeah.
like
It's so stupid.
the bottom 6 seeds and just
Right.
the top 8 seeds
Top
get
8.
in, and you give the first 2 a bye.
Bye.
And then, yeah.
Yeah. Money.
That's
Money.
right. Speaking of money, superstar Major League Baseball outfielder Christian Yelich and the Milwaukee Brewers are deep into discussions on a contract extension that is expected to run 9 years and be worth approximately $215 million.
I figure.
Now, that seems a little low to me,
For him, he's a good ball player.
considering Bryce Harper got, what, $400 million?
And he's nowhere, to me, it's not as good as him, Yelich.
The deal would run through 2028 and includes a mutual option for 2029. Yelich would make $12.5 million in 2020 and $14 million in 2021, and then a new 7-year extension worth $190 million would kick in. Yelich was the 2018 National League MVP, won his 2nd straight National League batting title last year. The 28-year-old outfielder finished behind Cody Bellinger in the 2019 MVP voting. Yelich hit .329
Wow.
with 44 home runs
Wow.
and 97 RBIs in 130 games last year. His season was cut short in September when he broke his right kneecap.
Oh!
I'd forgotten that. The Brewers plan to shift him from right field back to left field, creating a spot in right for a newly signed Avisel Garcia. Yelich won the Gold Glove in left with Miami in 2014. Oh, by the way, the year that he won the MVP, 2018, he hit .326 with 36 home runs and 110 RBIs.
That boy's stroking it. That's for a yearly average to be in the 3s.
$215 million just doesn't sound like enough.
They don't.
Why are they
Not
going
for that.
cheap? Why are they going cheap, Johnny?
I'd be fired. I would have to fire
I
him.
wouldn't sign that deal. Would
Yeah.
you sign that, Ryan?
Man.
$215
No,
million. Chump change.
Pocket
Yeah.
change.
I want $400 million,
Yeah.
like Bryce Harper.
I was about to say.
Bryce Harper got $400 million. He
Yeah.
hit $240 last year.
Right.
I
Yeah.
hit $340.
That-
So
yeah.
I want $400 million.
I'm 100. You know what? Now I want 500 million because I hit 100.
I want $1 billion.
Yeah.
I want $1 billion.
You ain't going nowhere until I get it. We're staying
or
there.
I'm going to the Yankees.
Yeah. Ooh. They'll pay it. You know they will.
Just say that.
Yeah. You know the Yankees will pay it, and I'm a good ball player. So just.
I
let
mean,
you
I don't mind cutting my beard.
I
Does
don't
he
either.
have a beard? I
I don't think
he
he's.
does.
He's the most baby-faced
Yeah,
kid I've
no.
ever seen.
I don't mind having a clean haircut.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
I can't even grow a beard.
I don't mind wearing stripes. I'll do it.
I don't even want my name on the back of my jersey.
Nobody can pronounce it anyway. You can't even spell it.
$215 million. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
don't get me
no,
wrong.
yeah, I'm not
That's a
gonna
ton of
scoff at
money.
it, yeah.
It just doesn't sound like enough
They don't.
for
Yeah.
Christian Yelich. I mean, he's an MVP. He should have won it last year, right behind Cody Bellinger. He's going to hit 40 home runs a year and drive in 100 runs. And he's 28.
And
Is that right?
He's hitting 326. What did you say, or 27?
He hit 329 last year. He hit
329.
326 the year before that.
I mean, if his years back to back are in the threes, almost 330s, that's big, dude.
That's money.
You don't know how big that is in baseball, but that's humongous. It's huge.
The
It's
problem
huge.
is he's 28.
True.
So
Yeah.
how long can he sustain it? You know, I mean,
I'm gonna say another 5.
that's why if I was him, I'd be asking for a lot more money up front.
Yeah. For another 5, I can still rock
I
and
mean,
roll.
just broke his right kneecap.
True. Yeah, that's probably what hurt him. That kneecap one. You imagine breaking your kneecap? Breaking it just like in half.
Yeah, that would hurt.
What happens after that? You know, you get a new cap.
Final story here in the sports segment of the Sack Lunch Show. You know, we typically don't talk about the NBA.
Yeah, true.
I'm just not a big NBA fan.
Right.
Don't
Oh,
really
man.
keep up with it.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, whatever. We'll talk about it once we get to the playoffs or whatever. But I am a Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich fan. I just like them both.
I love
You know, just
Yeah.
kind of
I love him.
they've been
Yeah.
really good. First of all, they're Hall of Famers.
And Popovich is a
And then Popovich is funny, and Tim Duncan was class act, that kind of thing. Tim Duncan got his first victory as an acting head coach last night when he filled in for Greg Popovich for the San Antonio Spurs 104-103 victory over the Charlotte Hornets.
really.
Yeah, so he's been an assistant coach all year.
I didn't even know that.
Yep, this is his
Coach
second. This is his second
What?
game as a head coach.
Man.
Popovich missed the game while dealing with personal business, according to the team. The team would not say whether or not he actually made the trip to Charlotte. Doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Tim Duncan said it's night and day to be in the big boy chair. But truth be told, I wasn't in the big boy chair. We've got Spurs assistants Becky Hammond. Remember, they've got a female assistant coach, Becky
Right.
Hammond. Will Hardy and Mitch Johnson. Mitch prepped the game for us. Becky and Will were making all the calls, and I was the only one just standing there screaming at people.
That's good.
They asked him if he thought he might be a head coach down the road, and he said, nope. Pop is going to be back, and I'll be happy to hand it right over to him.
Yeah. He don't look like a head coach type to me.
I mean,
His demeanor is just
I
real
like
quiet.
the way this article ends, though. It says, well, where'd it go? There it is. The 43-year-old won 5 NBA championships with the Spurs and is a finalist for the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame later this year. They should just change the word
Right.
finalist
Yeah.
to shoe-in.
Shoe-in.
And is a shoe-in
Right.
for the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame later this year. So
Or he's already got his space. We're just waiting for the ceremony. Pretty much all it is.
it's the Sack Lunch Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Sack Lunch Show, 10:59 on your Wednesday, March 4th, 2020. You know, we're just a few days away from a couple of things. First of all, Johnny, I mean, we got lots going on in Southwest Georgia. We got, the Ward Davis concert Friday night. We got Rivertown Days next weekend.
Right.
We got the Boots and Roots Rodeo the weekend after that. Peanut Proud the weekend after that. And 1 month from today, we've got the Thomasville Artifact Show, which is the second annual Thomasville Artifact Show. We had the first one last year. That was the first one.
Yeah.
And now this is the second one.
Number 2 annual.
Now, I didn't go to Georgia Tech like Ryan did.
Yeah, none of us did.
But I'm pretty sure that math translates.
Yeah, from 1 to 2.
I have to get back.
You have to get back with it.
I haven't learned
have to
the
sit down
new
and
math.
make sure.
Yeah.
Have you learned the new math?
I tried to.
I'm going to tell you something. My first grader, first of all, she's brilliant. Everybody thinks their kid's smart. I get it.
Right.
My kid's brilliant.
Yeah.
I know she is.
Right.
Okay. But she does math. I don't remember learning it this way. Like if you tell her to add, like 40 and 70.
Right.
Okay. She'll get it right.
Yeah.
It's 110.
10.
The way she does it is she does like zeros, like 7 zeros and 4 zeros and then ones and then adds it, and it comes up to 110.
I'm lost. I'm totally lost right there.
I mean, I just added the 7 and the 4.
Yeah, and come up with 11.
Yeah.
And then added a 0.
Yeah.
But they're teaching them different ways to do it, man,
Really?
where it's like
Is it more complicated?
Yeah, it is.
Is it
They
really?
tried to teach me something in
What?
elementary school for multiplying. It's called like a lattice. I don't.
Lattice is what you put on the side of a house.
that's right.
Yeah.
Or underneath the
Or-
pool deck.
Yeah,
I mean,
pool deck.
that's
Around your
essentially
trailer.
what it was. I mean, it was just like it was like a tic-tac-toe board
Really?
that you put the numbers on, like the top and the
Oh,
side.
yeah,
and then you
Like a Roku or whatever it's called?
No, that's
Sudoku?
what you watch TV on.
Sudoku.
Yeah,
Sudokus.
Sudoku, yeah.
and it was really stupid. Just to be honest, like it was way
Just
it took way
stupid.
longer to do.
I don't know that I agree or disagree with the new way of teaching math.
I can't.
All I can tell you is I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the way I learned it was simpler. Like it involved less work.
I mean, you had your times table chart. You learned it, and that was it. You add your add chart. You learned it.
I'm pretty
that was
good at math. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not, a genius at math,
it. Yeah,
but I mean, I can do math.
I mean,
Sometimes I can even do it in my head.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a simple one,
yeah.
like 10 plus 10 and stuff.
Yeah.
I can do those in my head.
10 plus 10 and stuff. That's what I do.
But the new one where you got to draw, you got to write down the number of zeros,
That's a lot.
and
Seems
then
like.
and I feel like it takes up a lot of paper
I'm about
too.
to say a lot
Yeah.
of paper. Like,
There's going to be a point where
You run out of
you got two
she's-
problems on
she's
one
gonna-
page.
Yeah, and then she's going to get to a point where she's not going to have time to write all them zeros down every time. She's just going to have to learn the good way,
Right.
Yeah, the real way.
the real way.
I feel like this is probably, I mean, because like I said, she's in first grade.
Right.
Which, by the way, I told you she's brilliant.
Right.
I believe she is.
That's right.
Your kid might be brilliant too. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
saying that. I'm just telling you,
Everybody's
my kid is
Right.
brilliant.
That's right.
I mean, she made 5 100s and a 98 on her progress report.
There you go.
I don't care what anybody else's kid did.
Right.
My kid's the best. But no, so
Everybody else.
I feel like this is like an introduction to math
I
that
hope
they're
so.
going through right now, and that as they get farther into understanding the concept,
Yeah.
that there will be less of the writing out the zeros.
Lord, I hope so.
I hope.
It's a conspiracy.
But
I
I mean,
mean-
she's smart though. I mean, she could figure it out.
Right. Yeah, but if she can figure it out with all them zeros, teach you the real way.
Well, and then the
Take her home,
ones.
teach.
It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter if it's 4s and 7s. It turns into 1s.
God, okay. Whatever you say.
I can't. I can't explain it because
Is it
I don't
like-
understand
She
Right.
it.
writes
Like, what?
7. She writes the zeros, and then she writes the ones. So it's like 7 ones, and then she writes like 4 ones.
Yeah, and that gives you 11.
That's just
I-
overcomplicating.
I
saying
understand.
4 plus
Like,
7.
There's probably a math teacher out there listening,
Go on.
screaming
Yeah.
at the radio
You
right
bunch
now.
of
But
morons.
what I'm saying is, I don't fully understand it.
I don't either.
I just watch her do the work, and then I say, that's right or that's wrong.
Right.
Like, okay, you got that one right, or you got that one wrong. Honestly, though, it's normally, okay, yeah, you got it right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she's smart.
Is it the same thing if it's like 45 plus?
I don't know that we've gotten into the
Double digit.
the numbers, you know, like besides like
Besides the tens.
the tens.
No.
Right.
By the way, Chris Harden, our buddy Chris Harden's listening. He said it's all that jelly that made Sadie Bug so smart. But if you hadn't had Chris Harden's jelly,
Oh man,
then you're missing out. He's right.
that peach jelly's on point.
Yes, it is.
It's good.
Mm.
And the strawberry.
Some of that on some oven toast right now.
Listen, I made a peanut butter and jelly with some of that strawberry jam he brought. A grilled cheese peanut butter and jelly.
Grilled cheese.
Dude, it was
You
good.
put cheese on your peanut butter and jelly?
I got to show you how to do it, son. It's good. It is extremely good. Cheese bread with the peanut butter and jelly in it. You put the cheese on there, and you can't do it real high. You know, grilled cheese, you like try to get it done. Unless you got to cook real slow.
Low and slow?
Low and slow. Dude, it's good. I was surprised because I saw it on a post or something. I was like, nah, I'll try it. You know, I'm all about some peanut butter and jelly. So I did it, man. It was great. I ate 2 of them that day. Cooked 2 of them in there. And you can put I like the sharp cheddar that's got a little bite to it.
You know what I think we should do?
That's all I can say. Is
I just thought about this. We should have a competition.
Right.
A math competition
Oh, I lost. You win.
between Jay Bird
Oh, and Rod.
and Rock and Rod.
It's like watching Mouse go through a maze. Where do I go? What?
I
I
think
knew
Jay
where I'm
would
going.
win because Miss Amy's a math teacher.
Oh, yeah. He's got it hands
So I
down.
think Jay would win.
We'd have to take his phone. Take
But
their
I
phones.
think Rod would make the most excuses
Yep.
about why he didn't win,
My ink ran out.
to the point where Jay would give up
Yeah.
and just be like, you know what, Rod?
Just to forget it. You win.
He would wear him down.
Wear
so
him
to speak.
down. There you go. Back him up against the fence. Wear him down. UFC type math bowl.
Yep. I don't get the new math, man. I don't understand it.
My daughter does. I sat down the other day and tried to. I was like, nah, I'm watching TV. I can't do it, man. It's too much. It's like you said. I think it's overcomplicating the whole process. You can,
Why can't you just learn what 7 plus 4 is?
Yeah, it's 11.
And then you just add a 0.
Right on.
But the truth is, you learn to add just 1 0.
Right.
But there's 2 zeros in 70 and 40.
There is.
So at some point, you had to overcome that mental hurdle
True.
of not putting 2 zeros.
Right.
You had to learn to just put 1. And probably somebody was like, well, that doesn't make sense. There's 2 zeros.
Right.
Probably.
Does anybody really know? Does anybody really know?
I've often wondered
Is it a crap sheet?
how they came up with all the math rules,
Right.
and they all work.
They do.
Think about all of the math rules,
Right.
and they all work. Do you know, Ryan? I mean, you went to Georgia Tech.
I mean, you're talking some pretty deep junk right there.
Think about it.
That's like, did they exist before we thought of them,
Right.
or did we
Make them up and
Create-
make them work.
I believe
they
that
made
we
them up.
discovered them.
Yeah.
Do you think God created the math rules?
I don't know who created
No,
math.
I think God gave the person the mentality and the brain to create up the math rules.
He
but
created the heavens and the earth.
So I mean, he did create them, but I think we have overcomplicated them as the process. God said, "Look, it's just this, guys."
Look,
It's
7
just
plus 4
this.
is 11.
And humans are like, "We're gonna make it bigger and better, and we're gonna do all this, and we're gonna add more zeros."
Well,
That's
I
what
mean, we know that God created like the human body and
Yeah.
the intricacies of the
Right.
human body and all the layers and the ways it
Right.
work. And like, there's still things that we have
mean,
no concept of
yeah.
how it works, right?
Poof.
Mhm.
So
there it is.
he had to create math too.
Well, I mean, 4 plus 4 was 8.
no matter
Before
Yeah.
we discovered what adding was,
right.
right?
But who came up that this is 8?
What is 8?
Yeah, who come up with 8?
8 is a term. It's just a name for
I don't.
I mean, who just said, "Okay, this is 8. This is 1. Why couldn't 1 be 10?" And we'll start 10, 7, 2, 5.
Well,
9.
wait a second. It that's only in English.
True. Yeah.
8 is not 8 in Spanish,
No,
Johnny.
it's
It's
not.
ocho.
It's
I'm just saying, man, all these math rules.
Who come up with it?
How do they all work?
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Who's a math whiz in papers? Who knows the math? Rodney Prince. Rodney.
I thought you were going to say like
I mean, that's all he does is numbers. So.
Miss Dunlap, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
We can call Miss Dunlap. She can come help us. She helped me learn how to do trigonometry
She's still
or
teaching?
geometry. No, I think she's retired.
Retired?
Joe
Oh.
Kelly.
Who?
Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly, he knows.
He's a math teacher.
Yeah, he helped me through calc too. So
All right, here you
Call
go.
Joe
smart.
and
Joe.
ask him
Joe, let's
where
go.
all the math rules came from.
Yeah.
And how they all work.
I'm telling you, they were discovered.
They were just
So God created them. I'm not making light. I'm really
I mean,
asking the
yeah,
I
question.
mean, is there
mean,
some guy out
like-
in the rainforest digging a hole and go, "There's an 8.
Like
We found 8." Is that how it happened?
we can. It's more like discover than like create them because
Right.
I mean you see it all over. Like this is one tape measure.
Yeah.
It's one tape measure whether we know how to describe it as one tape measure or not.
I'm
It's
all-
still one tape measure.
You're trying to complicate
It
the
is,
math.
yes. Is it one tape measure or is it a tape measure? Because one is the descriptor of the
Something-
quantity.
Yes. Singular.
Yeah, even if we can't describe how many it is,
Right.
you know, if there was a second tape measure here, we would be able to know that if
that
there were
one-
2 tape measures here and one here, we would be able to know which one is more.
True.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. Oh man.
Yes.
So
I need to
so
take a nap. I need a nap.
all right, Matt Beatty just texted me and he said pine trees are dying everywhere in people's yards, and y'all want to talk about math. No, he said Tweezy Cuts can take down most pine trees, haul them off, grind the stump, and clean up for just $350. How about that, Matt?
How many trees are we talking, Matt?
you can
One,
count how many
10?
trees he takes down.
Yeah.
But who
So-
invented the numbers?
Yeah, who invented one? Where'd it come from?
Whoever invented English. Thank the Anglo-Saxons.
There we go.
Welcome back to the Sack Lunch Show, 11:19 on your Wednesday, March 4th. We are presented by David White and the gang at Cook's Appliance Services, the Bonnie Blue House, Dean Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, H&R Block in Bainbridge and Donaldsonville and Blakely, ABAC at Bainbridge, Stewart Auto Parts, B3 Property Management. By the way, Bradley Watts is looking for turkey lease. So if you got turkeys on your land, Bradley Watts will pay you cash for the turkey hunting rights, 229-854-1530. We're also brought to you by Brian Howell with United Rentals and the Nomad Nurse.
And don't forget Bill Payne, attorneys at law. Brown Lee Glass Company, Carter's Fried Chicken, home of the D-Bone. Dr. Holman Breckenridge III, Hadaway Ford, and Stone's Home Centers.
We're also brought to you by Specialty Auto, Bainbridge DUI School, Dixie Dandy, Southern Harvest Equipment, Mitchell County Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, C&R Parts and Auto Body, and South Georgia Motorsports.
And don't forget New South Roofing, Grassy Cuts, Seminole Hydraulics, the law offices of Silver Ambrose, Lindquist & Co., Westwood Schools, and Lane's Medical Shop.
We're also brought to you by Studio Tees, 229-400-9656. You need T-shirts printed? We got you covered, 229-400-9656. The best prices around.
That's it.
229-400-9656.
No haggling, no waiting.
It's now time for our favorite portion of the show. It's now time for Tell Me Something Good, brought to you by the law office of Silvis, Ambrose, Lindquist & Co.
All right. The University of Australia's Murdoch University has figured out a way. Do y'all have trouble sleeping? I know you don't.
Not usually.
How about you?
About once every 3 or 4 months.
Since I was 14. Now, this is no lie. This is the God's honest truth. Without any kind of medication, since I've been 14, I get about 4 to 5 hours a day. Just it. That's all my body requires. I don't know why. I mean, this is something weird.
I get about 4 to 5 hours before midnight.
I know. But I will lay in the bed. Like the other night, I got in the bed at 9. And I just laid there, and I was like, just eyes wide open. I'm thinking, what in the world? Well, I figured out, and I found out a solution. All I got to do is take saffron.
No.
That's what it said.
Isn't that a color?
Saffron, it's a food, ain't it? Saffron?
Don't look at me.
Yeah, it's a food.
You're the Georgia Tech guy?
Yeah, it's like
I don't know about saffron.
Saffron's
That's like a plant.
No, it's like a food. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
it's
a,
like a
like
spice.
a herb. Yeah, it's a spice.
Herb, whatever. I don't know.
A herb.
A verb?
A herb. It's herb.
Like an action?
Yeah, it's an action herb. Researchers conducted at Australia's Murdoch University and published it in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine. Last week, that leader's research, Dr. Alan Lortres, whose earlier research found that saffron to be an effective natural agent for the treatment of mid to moderate depression, and said to be a research showed that improves in sleep. It's a new research used volunteers who were being treated for depression were physically healthy and had the medication for at least 4 weeks, apart from a pill or anything else, had to self-report symptoms of poor sleep. And so the doctor said, listen, here's something that you can take. He give all of these, volunteers some saffron, and said that he'd been researching. He said that saffron, he said every one of them, after in the article, after he looked, they're all just all passed out. I was like, are you sure that was saffron, man? Hey, there's been a little NyQuil in there. But he's saying a natural, healthy dose of saffron before you went to bed, or like in an hour, I guess, before you go to bed. You take it, ingest it, and it's supposed to help you sleep. So
I can tell you something that'll help me sleep, honestly.
What's that?
In all truthfulness. There are times when I find myself struggling to fall asleep. Not often,
Right.
but every now and then. It's usually on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
When I've gotten too much sleep.
Right.
Like by night 3 or something,
Right.
I'm tossing and turning in the bed.
Right.
When I exercise at night, if I go run at 8 o'clock,
yeah,
and then come home
It's
and
on.
take a shower and get into bed, I'm done.
That's over. Yeah.
Every time.
Right. I used to be that way when I worked out, but, when you get to a certain point, and it's like clockwork. 3 in the morning, bing. Without any fail.
You can start doing a 4 to 6 shift.
Yeah, you could. I could.
Yeah.
I could do 4 to 6 because I'm up. I just lay there in the bed, and I'm like, I'd be praying, Lord, please, just knock me out, Lord. Just punch me in the face, something. Just knock me out. I just want to sleep. So I tell you, man, those of you that get in 8 hours a day, praise the Lord that you do.
Well,
That's
you
what
seem
should.
healthy.
I feel healthy. I guess my body since I've been 14, dude, I'm telling you, I've noticed it since I've been that old. I'm like, you don't sleep much, I just don't require.
I'll
it,
go
you
to
know?
sleep right now.
I mean-
Don't you try
Don't
me.
you-
I will lay down on that couch and go to sleep. It's time now for your Southwest Georgia area news, driven by Action GM on Highway 84 East in Bainbridge, where you can save $8,000 on a new Yukon, and you can finance for free. 0% financing on just about everything. 0% for 72 months at Action GM. This news story, it was a breaking news story. The notification came directly from producer extraordinaire Ryan.
Oh, beep, 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 beep.
Michael Bloomberg, who spent hundreds of millions of dollars to self-fund his 2020 presidential run, announced Wednesday, that's today, that he is suspending his campaign after a poor performance on Super Tuesday and will endorse Joe Biden.
Man.
Well, how about that?
The fix is in.
Fix is in. It is.
He's-
Joe is on the road.
He says, I've always believed that defeating Donald Trump starts with uniting behind the candidate with the best shot to do it. After yesterday's vote, it is clear that candidate is my friend and a great American, Joe Biden, Bloomberg said in a statement. I've known Joe for a very long time. I know his decency, his honesty, and his commitment to the issues that are so important to our country, including gun safety,
Oh, no.
health care, climate change, and good jobs.
But he can't. What is that you showed me yesterday?
He can't recite the Declaration of Independence.
You know, it's stuff like that.
We're not going to get too political here, but I did see somewhere that I think he introduced his sister as his wife last night.
Joe's on some serious meds.
When Michael Bloomberg says that he's known Joe for a long time, that's probably because they've both been here for almost 8 decades.
Yeah.
I did think it was funny, though. You choose your side. I don't care who you
Yeah,
vote for,
me-
right?
me-
Like, it's obvious who I'm going to vote for.
Yeah, me
Yeah, I'm more conservative
me
than,
too.
anything else. But you choose who you want to vote for. But one thing I do think is funny is the way Donald Trump and his tweeting ends up coming up with nicknames for people. So you got
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe,
Mini Mike.
Mini Mike, not Magic Mike,
Not magic.
Mini Mike.
Mini.
Of course, Pocahontas.
Yeah.
He's got all these nicknames. I want to know if he comes up with the nicknames
He's got to.
or if somebody else gives them to him.
There ain't no way
I
somebody
think
else
he
is
does.
walking up to him and say, "Hey, you know what
You should call him Mini Mike.
Mini Mike." Yeah.
I think that's one of his gifts. It's
Yeah.
just
It's
like
quick.
just that.
Yeah. Yeah.
and all it takes. And
I
that's-
wonder what he would call you, Johnny.
I don't know.
The Puerto Rican sensation.
Yeah, that's what he'd call him. Puerto Rican sensation. Sensation.
Well, the weather's going to get bad over the next day or two. Go
Yeah,
ahead and
it
prepare
is.
yourself. Flash flooding and severe storms are possible today and tomorrow. Up to 5 inches of rain expected in certain places. Flash flooding threat up to 15% chance. The threat of severe storms rises to slight. So we go from a moderate chance to a slight chance tomorrow.
Oof.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
Yeah, I don't
Either
know.
way, there's a 15% chance of damaging winds, large hail, and a 5% chance of a tornado tomorrow. Basically, bad weather
It's coming.
for the next couple of days. It woke me up last night.
It was raining pretty hard.
It's going to continue today, tomorrow.
Right.
The only part about that bothers me, you talk about the rain, okay.
Right.
You talk about the wind, okay. Start talking about hail and tornadoes.
Yeah. Then,
Now you're getting my attention.
yeah.
I
Yeah, but
don't,
you know how you call a dog and he goes, his ears go. That's exactly what you do when you see the sign of hail or tornadoes, especially at night, dude. We just saw it. I mean, Nashville's proof. That night tornado, man, it's scary. It's
Yeah, it
eerie,
is.
real.
It's only a 5% chance of tornado, so that's
Right.
the good news. I mean, that's a 1 in 20 chance.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it could be much worse. I mean, the worst tornado weather we've had in years was just a few years ago. It was in January, if I remember correctly, maybe 2 Januaries ago, where the tornadoes ripped through Albany and Adel and all of that.
Yes, I do. Remember.
They saw that coming 2 or 3 days out. They were like, look,
Yeah.
this is going to be bad weather. There will be multiple tornadoes. I mean, that's the way they put it.
Yeah.
There will be multiple tornadoes. In this case, they're saying
Yeah.
there's a 5% chance
Right.
of isolated tornadoes. So,
Yeah. How'd you like that news story? Multiple.
yeah. I remember
Time to go.
on the Sack Lunch Show, us talking about it. We were reading the weather reports from the various meteorologists in our area,
That's crazy.
and they were saying, look, there are going to be tornadoes. There will be multiple tornadoes from along this line of storms
Right.
that basically runs from the Georgia-Florida line, all the way up to Columbus. There was a line of storms that just moved through, and they predicted 2 or 3 days in advance
Right.
there will be multiple tornadoes. In this case, they're not saying anything like that. They're saying lots of rain,
Right.
a potential for hail, and a 5% chance of isolated tornadoes.
Hey, and another thing, we'll get news right off the press board because Amanda's cousin just got hired at WALB to do the meteorologist spot. Sure did.
How about that? She's working the weekend shift?
He's going to be working the weekend shift on TV.
How about that?
His name is Matthew Crumley. That's Amanda's cousin. He just got the job. I was like, what?
Working for the weekends? Is that what you're saying?
Working for the weekend.
It's the Sack Lunch Show. We'll be right back. Mark your calendars and make your plans to attend the second. Mark your calendars and make your plans to attend the second annual Thomasville Artifact Show. Coming up Saturday, April 4th at the Southern Regional Technical College, the Thomasville Artifact Show will feature thousands of authentic Indian artifacts on display. Come out and see the finest collections of arrowheads from around the country. Experts will be on hand for free identification of your arrowheads, too. And kids get in free. Adult admission is just $5. And I promise your kids will love the Easter egg hunt, where they'll find real arrowheads. All sorts of ID guides, posters, T-shirts, and more will be available at the second annual Thomasville Artifact Show, Saturday, April 4th at the Southern Regional Technical College, Highway 19 in Thomasville. For more information, call 229-416-6259 or visit flint-life.com. Welcome back to the Sack Lunch Show, 11:38 on your Wednesday, March 4th. It's now time for your sports, brought to you by Yates Concrete, making concrete sexy for 3 generations. Well, I think it would be fair to say that there are a few names in Major League Baseball that are all in the same category. When you say the name Mike Trout,
Yes.
you immediately think of one of the best players in baseball.
Right now, yes.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for him, he plays, on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So the rest of the country doesn't get to see him much.
He's an angel.
But he's one of the best players in baseball.
He is.
Mike Trout.
Strongest.
Yeah.
One of the strongest.
You could say names like Christian Yelich.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best players in baseball.
Uh,
Now, there are some other names that get lumped in that same category that may or may not qualify, okay? So some would say a name like Bryce Harper.
Meh.
I don't think it quite qualifies to be in the same category, but when you're talking about name recognition and superstar, power and that kind of thing, Bryce Harper's going to be up there.
He's got it, yeah.
Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
He just won the National League MVP over Christian Yelich. He's the young shortstop for the Dodgers.
Right.
There are guys like that are all in that same stratosphere.
Lumped in that same spot.
Aaron Judge, if he continues to play like he has the last year or so, he'll be up there eventually. He's not quite there yet.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Giancarlo Stanton, he's up there. Freddie Freeman is not quite up there, but he's got some.
He's quietly up there.
Name recognition. He's not the same type of hitter as some of
Yeah.
those guys.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not quite as much of a power hitter as Christian Yelich is.
Right.
But Freddie Freeman is a perennial all-star
He's
that
consistent,
makes lots of money. I'll tell you somebody that will be in that category if he has the same type of year this year as he did last year, and that's Ronald Acuna.
Yeah,
okay,
I agree.
all right. So Ronald Acuna signed a 10-year, I think it was a 10-year, $100 million contract.
Go.
What, 18 months ago? Something like that. And at the time, he really hadn't done a whole lot.
Right.
Like he had come up for his rookie year,
Yeah.
had a good year,
Right.
that kind of thing. but he hadn't done a ton.
He
but
hasn't.
everybody knew he was worth $100 million.
He was coming.
And when the Braves signed him, everybody was like, woo,
Yeah, what?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give him $100 million because they knew he was going to be worth it.
Right.
Bryce Harper, on the other end of the spectrum, finished second in the MVP voting to Cody Bellinger. Last year, Christian Yelich hit .329 with 44 home runs, 97 RBIs in 130 games. That was before he broke his right kneecap on September 10th. His batting average was second in Major League Baseball last
I
year.
wouldn't doubt it.
Over the last 2 years, his batting average, an average of .327, is second in Major League Baseball. He's got 80 home runs in the last 2 seasons, which puts him third. And his wins above replacement, that WAR metric that baseball uses,
Yes, Lord. Some more of that weird math.
is 14.7, which is the 6th best in Major League Baseball over the last 2 years. In 2018, when he won his MVP, he hit 36 home runs with 110 RBIs. So he hit 8 more home runs last year and only played 130 games. He also won a Gold Glove in left field with the Marlins in 2014.
And he didn't get his 400 million.
And he's getting 215 million.
When Bryce Harper got 400, he didn't hardly play last year, did he? He was hurt, wasn't he? Like for the most of the season.
I think you're just confused because he didn't produce very much.
I mean, no, he still.
It was almost like he didn't
something's
play.
hurt. There's something hurt.
No, Bryce Harper, I think he played most of the year last year,
thought he was
if
hurt.
I'm not mistaken.
Was
I know
it
he
may
was.
have been at the beginning of the season.
I know he was. I'm 99% sure he played most of the year because I remember the Nationals. The Phillies, of course, didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs.
The Nationals did.
It's funny how they get rid of him and they make the playoffs and win the World Series. I know he was mad. Boy, you know that Joker was mad.
And that was kind of the funny thing was that he had to watch the World Series from
on
home.
That's too funny.
Let's see here. I'm pulling up Bryce Harper's deal.
I bet you he don't care a rip.
Bryce Harper is a 6-time All-Star.
Yeah.
He was the National League Rookie of the Year. He won the MVP in 2015. That was also the year that he led the National League in home runs.
Wow.
He signed a 13-year, $330 million contract.
Oh, it's just 330?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah, Mike Trout signed a deal. Going back to how we started the conversation, Mike Trout signed a deal this past year that actually surpassed Bryce Harper's deal in annual revenue. He's got 2 MVPs, by the way.
Yeah,
Right, Mike Trout does.
Yeah.
Let's see here. He also won the AL Hank Aaron Award last year. 3 MVPs. He's got 3 American League MVPs. He finished last year with 45 home runs and led the American League in on-base percentage and slugging percentage.
Wow.
That's Mike Trout.
That's a big dog.
So you got Bryce Harper, $330 million man. You got Mike Trout over here,
Right.
who's surpassed him in annual. I don't
Right.
think his contract was quite as long. And then somewhere in the middle, you got Christian Yelich.
Right.
Who would you rather have? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're all
Right.
outfielders.
I think I'd rather have Yelich, to be honest with you. I don't know. I think I'd have Trout. I'd rather have Mike Trout. He's a man. That kid can hit.
Have you seen him? Did you see the video of him hitting
Hitting
a golf ball?
Yes.
Oh, wait, yeah, dude.
He
Yeah, dude.
smashed.
At Top Golf
Yeah.
or whatever?
He smashed it.
I think it went
That
like
thing-
1,000 yards.
That thing
Yeah.
went out of the net.
Listen,
I guarantee it.
I don't know if you guys ever played golf much or do play golf at all, but when somebody can hit a ball that far, their balance and strength is ridiculous.
I don't drive the ball really far when I play golf. I'm normally in the 380 to 400 yard range. Sometimes I'll hit
475,
410 or so if I get a good
560,
roll.
Yeah, get it's a cart pass.
Yeah.
It's the street.
Jay Bird, meanwhile, is kind of a short game kind of guy. He hits the ball 180, 200 yards off the tee,
A lot of divot.
and then but now he stays in the fairway.
Yeah.
That's how Jay Bird plays. Just like Bobby Bowden. They used to say
Right.
Bobby Bowden played old man golf when he played. He'd shoot an 80
Yeah.
every time.
Beat you to death.
But it was because it
Stay in
didn't
the
matter
short
how
grass.
long or how short the
Right.
hole was. It was
Yeah.
going to take,
Yeah, it's that
4
many
strokes,
points.
5 strokes.
That's it.
Yep.
If you can keep it in the short grass, you good.
Yeah, that's how Jay Bird does.
Yeah.
He doesn't hit it real far,
Yeah.
but it's straight.
He's a 200-yard man.
Yep.
Off the tee box.
Yeah. The truth is, I'm more like a 180, 200 yard man.
I me too. I can hit the ball consistently at a 200-yard. You get the older you get. I used to kill it. But
Well, see, my
Can't kill it
problem is
anymore.
when I try to swing too hard
Oh,
and
yeah,
hit
yeah.
it farther, it
Yeah.
goes that way.
So
Yeah.
when you get older, your balance goes to out the window. So.
You're already losing your balance.
Dude, I almost fell down the other day playing golf with Jonah. I slipped, my back foot slipped. I fell. They were all laughing at me.
Had
Hey,
back
get up,
pain for
old
3
man.
days.
Yeah.
You know the Johnny Cash remake, I Hurt Myself Today? I saw something the other day that said when you get over 30 and you turn your neck real
Oh, yeah.
fast.
Listen, hey, move your shoulder real fast in the bed while you're rolling around. See what happens. Your whole body just, oh, God, you come to work like this. I got a crink in my neck.
That's why Jay Bird walks so funny.
He comes in with crinks.
Yeah, Mike Trout crushed
Dude, he
that golf
smashed
ball.
that golf ball. And everybody was like, oh, my
Well,
goodness.
and it was obvious he was there with like some high school buddies or something.
You could tell it was
I
somebody.
mean, I don't
yeah.
think it was teammates.
I don't think so either. That's what I was wondering.
And, maybe they're all just still like the same
Yeah.
group of friends hanging out or
Right.
something. But they all celebrated
They
as
did.
if they were surprised.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's Mike Trout.
I know.
He just hit that ball like
I mean-
Mike Trout should.
You hadn't seen the commercial? He hits the ball all the way into the store, into the sandwich? Come on now. Y'all ain't seen that commercial?
No, I haven't seen
I haven't seen that commercial.
Really? Yeah.
No.
I have to look it up.
All right, so do you think Christian Yelich is worth $215 million?
Oh, absolutely. Without question. I think he's worth it. I think he's worth more.
I do too. I think he
He should have been right there, at least equivalent, or right either behind or in front of Bryce Harper.
well,
as far
Bryce
as
Harper's was 13 years,
13 years.
$330 million. So what's that? $25 million?
Pretty much.
Is that right? Yeah, about
year.
$25 million a
Mhm.
year. So Yelich is going to be $27 million a year.
Yeah.
So
After what? 2 years? 3 years?
after the next two.
After next two? Yeah, I'll take it. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yelich is probably like, yeah, whatever. That's it seems like the type of guy it would be.
I mean, $200 million.
Yeah, I mean.
$200 million.
No, I want 3.
So Sack Lunch Show. We'll be right back. Mark your calendars and make your plans to attend the second annual Thomasville Artifact Show. Coming up Saturday, April 4th at the Southern Regional Technical College, the Thomasville Artifact Show will feature thousands of authentic Indian artifacts on display. Come out and see the finest collections of arrowheads from around the country. Experts will be on hand for free identification of your arrowheads too. And kids get in free. Adult admission is just $5. And I promise your kids will love the Easter egg hunt, where they'll find real arrowheads. All sorts of ID guides, posters, T-shirts, and more will be available at the second annual Thomasville Artifact Show, Saturday, April 4th at the Southern Regional Technical College, Highway 19 in Thomasville. For more information, call 229-416-6259 or visit flint-life.com. Mark your calendars and make your plans to attend the second annual Thomasville Artifact Show. Coming up Saturday, April Mark your calendars and make your plans to attend the second annual Thomasville Artifact Show. Coming up Saturday, April 4th at the Southern Regional Technical College, the Thomasville Artifact Show will feature thousands of authentic Indian artifacts on display. Come out and see the finest collections of arrowheads from around the country. Experts will be on hand. Another show in the books there, fellers.
Wrapped it up there, fellers.
It's 11:58 on your Wednesday, March 4th. It's almost lunchtime. My
There's
stomach's growling.
There's another word for Rivertown days.
Fellers?
Fellers.
Fellers.
Fellers. Fellers. Waller.
Waller.
Waller. Holler.
Waller and Swaller.
Waller and Swaller.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't holler while you swaller that.
That's true.
You joke.
Don't miss the ride this afternoon from 4 to 6. Don't miss Jesus and Jammin' in the morning from 6 to 9. And good Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow with the Thursday morning edition of the Sack Lunch Show at 10 a.m. We sure hope you'll join us then. Thank you so very much for listening to this Wednesday edition. It's Wednesday. There's churches open across the fruited plain of Southwest Georgia. Find yourself one. If you're in the Bainbridge area, I know Open Arms Ministries, they serve supper on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, they do.
So you get free food and the word. So, yeah.
You get food for your soul and food for your gut.
Check out Scripture of the Day as well. It's posted each day on our website, SowegaLive.com. We appreciate you listening to this Wednesday edition of the Sack Lunch Show, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
See ya.